Alright everyone, welcome back to another Diablo 4 video. I'm Captain Beefy. This is the Game Vault, and it's been about a day since the 1.1.0a patch dropped. And I've had a lot more time to play the game since then. I know I did a video covering the changes yesterday and giving you my initial thoughts on it. Well, now that I've had a chance to play for a little bit, let's talk about it. But first, we'll cue up the music. Alright, well, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I sure did. The internet seems to be on fire right now because of the recent changes to Diablo 4. And there's a lot of criticism going around regarding these changes, all the nerfs that took place, and the way it's going to impact the game. People on Reddit are calling for Blizzard to postpone Season 1, which is less than 24 hours away, and fix what they've done. I believe the developers are having a one of their little talks on Friday. Their, what do they call it, campfire talk or whatever. So I'm sure that's going to be interesting to hear what it's all about. A lot of the heavy hitters out there in the community, Asmongold and all these guys have expressed their thoughts on the changes and all that. And, you know, a lot of people are really, really upset. And on paper, I was not really upset. I was like, alright, this doesn't sound too bad. You know? But then I played. And I gotta tell you, man, these changes have had a pretty big impact on my character. I do play a sorcerer, and, you know, she's not, you know, I'm not playing a meta build or anything like that, the Ice Shards meta build. I'm playing a build that is centered around Blizzard, you know, and, yeah, it's just a custom build that I've done from the start, and I really haven't changed much from the beginning as far as what I use for weapons. I use the Frost Bolt. You know, I have 1 point here in Ice Shards just for the heck of it. You know, I needed something in there. I've got Frost Nova, which I rely heavily on. Ice Blaze, which I don't rely heavily on. Pretty beefy Blizzard at 6 out of 5. The Deep Freeze, and of course, the Shatter. So, you know, my whole thing is crowd control, right? I go in and inflicting a lot of vulnerability on creatures, enemies, and then, you know, just going to town on them and beating the crap out of them. I generate a lot of barriers. My equipment, you know, and I'm still looking for some better pieces on some of this stuff, but I've got the extra Frost Nova here.
Yes.
I've got a barrier here. Explosions from the Shatter Key passive deal 40% more damage, so I'm working on that. I've got the Ice Heart Brace here, which is, I just found these recently, and enemies that die while frozen have a 16% chance to unleash a Frost Nova, so that kind of piggybacks off my initial Frost Nova, which can be good. Critical strike chances increased by 27% with my Isu's Heirloom. My Blizzard does Ice Spikes, which are not very good right now. I'd like to get a better, or an equivalent staff, and then, you know, put a better imprint on it. And then with my jewelry, of course, I've got, when I'm within my Blizzard, I take 38% less damage, which I'm not real sure about that one. I deal 28% more to immobilize, stunned, or frozen enemies, which is pretty good, you know. But again, these two I could change out without a problem. This one I like. While Deep Freeze is active, exploding ice spikes form in the area, dealing 1,747 cold damage. And they have a 50% increased explosion radius. That's a nice one for my Deep Freeze. But again, that doesn't pop off very, very often. So it's like not the most important thing. But it's a fun build. I really enjoy this build. I enjoy playing with it. You know, nothing like going into a crowd of enemies and just unleashing hell on them with all that stuff, and, you know, just having a good time with it. But like I said, it's not, you know, it's not designed to take down high-level nightmare dungeons and all that. But prior to the patch, you know, I was able to go a few levels ahead of myself in the dungeons and survive, you know. I'm at level 92 now, so 2 days ago I wouldn't have been able to take on level 95 guys and do okay. You know, I might not kick butt and rip through a dungeon in no time, but that's not my play style. That's not what I'm looking for in the game. I'm not looking for the power leveling and the, you know, going through everything as fast as possible. I'm having fun. You know, I want to create a build, have fun with it, and enjoy it. I'm a casual player that puts in a lot of time in video games because of what I do here, you know. And this is, Diablo's been a favorite of mine for so long now. Almost 30 years I've been playing this game. So, I get it. But what Blizzard did with the nerfs, you know, at first I was like, well, it doesn't sound too bad. But man, let me tell you, my survivability has gone into the toilet since then. I'm struggling to fight against level 92 creatures in Nightmare Dungeons. You know, I'm finding myself getting one-shotted left and right. They did all these nerfs, and they didn't do some fundamental fixes to help offset it. Like, I understand that resistances are broken, and that wasn't addressed, that wasn't fixed, and that's frustrating. You know, if you're going to nerf everything, then give us a bone and throw us something that will help make up for that. I rely on vulnerability, and they said, well, we don't want so many people to rely on vulnerability, we want to mix things up a little bit. But man, vulnerability is just an aspect of the game, and it was very powerful, I get it, but to nerf it like they did it, minus 40%, really hurt my character. Really hurt my character. She just has not been the same since, and so, you know, I'm struggling to find out, you know, what I got to do. Did it ruin the game for me? No, it didn't ruin the game for me. Not by a long shot. It did make it a lot more challenging. You know, I've got to be a lot more careful. My survivability has dropped enormously. Ow! See? But yeah, my survivability has just gone down the toilet. Thank you, Bobo. Or yup. And it just made my life a lot harder in this game. So, will Blizzard listen to the fan base and, you know, fix some of these nerfs? Who knows? I have a feeling we're not going to be seeing that happen. I have a feeling we're going to just have to live with it. And they're going to say, you know, for the long-term health of the game, this is what we want to do and all that. But I really feel like they really dropped the ball on some stuff. And I'll tell you what really gets me in particular. The nerfs are tough, right? But what really gets me is the fact that they nerfed the ability to gain XP so much, you know. It used to be if you were fighting against creatures 3 levels higher than you, you were getting a 25% bonus to XP. That's dropped, if you're at 3 levels higher than you, to 4.5%. It's 1.5% per level higher than you with a cap at 10. So you have to go 10 levels above you. I would have to fight level 102 creatures to get a 15% bonus, which you used to get fighting creatures 1 level above you. That's utterly insane, man. I mean, you just made the game a little more grindy, you know, more reliant on just a time sink in some regards. And that's a little frustrating, you know. I don't want that, you know. I didn't want that from the game. I enjoyed the game the way it was set up. I thought it was a pretty good balance. And, you know, yeah, there were flaws in it and all that, as there are with any game. But that just feels like kind of a real punch to the gut, you know. And the fact that my sorcerer is just so squishy now, you know. I get it, I'm not playing an optimal build, but you shouldn't have to play the meta to have a good game and to be able to have fun with it and to be able to survive, you know. I get it if I played the game and I had, like, you know, this was my first Diablo game, I had no idea what I was doing, no focus with my character or anything like that, just random scatter shot, 1 point here, 1 point there, but you know, I've tried to focus on a set of skills and get the equipment to back them up, to play off of it, so it all kind of synergizes together and all. And it's definitely not the best build out there. I'm first one to admit that. You know, give me all criticism you want on it, but it shouldn't be as bad as it is. You know. They also changed it so, you know, look, now I'm fighting level 86 creatures out in the wild, right? Or 87, 86. So they made the creatures in the wild drop to 5 levels below you at a certain point. which I get why they did that, because they want you to take part in the end game content, like Nightmare Dungeons and Hell Tides and all that. But like what I'm doing now is I'm doing some Tree of Whispers stuff, right? Why can't I just be fighting regular old 92 level creatures here? Why do they got to be 5 levels below me? That really nerfs the amount of XP I'm getting from them. And I'm not sure the exact amount compared to we had before, but damn, you know? Yeah, they say, oh, they want you to feel more powerful and all that. Yeah, great, I feel powerful, but I also feel like I'm not growing, you know? I would rather feel a little less powerful, but see progression more than, you know, to feel more power than to not feel powerful. I don't know. It's just, it's aggravating. It really is. I think they did a bad job here. So, you know, am I going to quit the game over it? No, I'm not going to quit the game over it. I mean, you know, I'm not a reactionary person like that. I understand how things work. I understand that you have to make changes sometimes, and you have to test things out and all that. And in a game like this, you're not going to know the results of it until it goes out into the general population of players and they get to try it out. So it's out here now. And people have expressed their dislike of it, you know. And while some of the, you know, and that's not to take away, they did some good stuff in this, you know. They did some really good stuff in it, but what good they did really does not outweigh the nerfs that they did. The nerfs they did are almost crippling. Or actually, they are crippling for my character, but for many characters, I'm sure there are other types of characters that have been hit just as hard, if not harder. And that's really frustrating, you know, it really is. Especially when you've put in, you know, I'm getting close to level 100 now. You know, I'm ready to put this character out to pasture, basically, and just say, okay, I'm done, you know. Now I can move on and start working on a new character, like my seasonal character, which will be tomorrow or today, by the time you see this video. But now it's going to be that much harder to level this guy up. And that sucks. You know, that really sucks. It's not what I wanted. So, let me know down in the comments what you think of these changes. Do you think they're good overall? Do you think it's good for the long-term health of the game like they're going to tell us? Or do you think it's, you know, kind of a way to extend the life of the game without, you know, giving us more content, you know? You know, some people are seeing it that way, like it's a cheap way to extend the life of the game. Well, hey, you know, people will play longer, you know, if it takes you an extra few hours to, you know, level up, and you'll play longer to level up. If it's that much harder to find a really good piece of equipment, like the Uber uniques, and that's another whole story. Oof. But, you know, maybe they'll play longer. Well, I'm sure some people will, and a lot of people will quit, and they'll review bomb you, and they'll go out on social media and rip you to shreds and all that, and, you know, and I get it, you're a big company, you can do what you want, and, you know, the goal in the end is to make money. I get it, that's the goal of any business, but, you know, I think there's got to be a better way. So, anyway, I don't want to beat a dead horse too long. Everybody else is bitching about this. I figure I'll give my 2 cents, get it off my chest, and then when I get home from work, I'll start playing Season 1, and we'll see if all is forgiven. You know, are those hearts going to be enough of a game changer? I don't know. You can go to the website right now and see all 32 of them, I think it is, or 36. You can see what they are, and I got to be honest with you, none of them look that compelling. It also shows you the new aspects, and it shows you the new uniques. One of them's an Uber unique, the rest are class-specific. And even they're not that exciting overall, you know. So, maybe I'm just a little salty right now. You know, I will get over it. I'm a grown man. I don't let things like this ruin my day. But it does, you know, give me pause a little bit and say, you know, the game really fundamentally changed for me, and I don't like that, you know. This isn't the same game I played 2 days ago. And man, for some reason, I'm having a really hard time popping potions sometime, you know? I'm hitting the button like 5 times before it registers. I don't know if that's a lag issue. I use a plugged-in controller, so You know, it won't be lag on my end. Is that a server lag issue and they're not getting my input in time? I don't know. I don't know. Alright, well, anyway. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this at all or, you know, found it entertaining. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. Until next time, peace.